Welcome to episode 88 of Converse in the Ninjaverse, our Comic-Con special. I'm Will.
I'm Chris.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Gene.
Yes. Go ahead, promote your stuff.
From thehammerstrikes.com. Also,
go.
2 podcasts on twotruefreaks.com.
Nice.
Because I'm
So
an
we brought
overachiever.
Well, we brought Gene in this week so we can have our Comic-Con discussion because Chris is going to rage, I'm sure, at some point.
I don't know,
And
but it was a very slow news week, so there has to be 4 of us on this show.
Yes. So slow. So are we even doing the box office this week, or we don't care?
Yeah, let's do the box office this week. We'll go through it quick. Number 1 was Lucy, which is the new Scarlett Johansson movie.
The Black Widow standalone film.
Looks kind of cool. It's got her and Morgan Freeman in it. I'd watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Took in $44 million this week. Number 2 was Hercules, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Don't care.
I
like The Rock, but I don't care.
That movie at all.
Took in $29 million.
I had more interest in seeing Hercules than I did Lucy. To me, Lucy just looked like another, it was like Girl Matrix to me.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's hot.
Yeah, but yeah, I you put me in a room with The Rock and Scarlett Johansson. Sorry, I'm going Scarlett Johansson.
I'm just high.
I respect The Rock. I'm a huge wrestling nerd, but
Well, do you get the wrestle one?
Yes.
If I get to wrestle one, I am wrestling Scarlett Johansson.
But what if it's the opportunity to then beat The Rock, and then you've defeated the... No, you're right, Scarlett Johansson.
I'm sure Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, just a chance to brush against some side boob.
No. Number 3 was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Took in $16.5 million, $172 million total.
America loves monkeys.
America loves monkeys. Number 4 was The Purge: Anarchy. Took in about $10 million, $51 million total. America kind of sort of loves people killing people.
Anger.
And number 5 was Planes, Fire and Rescue. That took in $9 million and $35 million total. And
nobody loves
enough. Just enough.
I was half expecting you to say planes, trains, and automobiles for some second. I time warped again.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, the animated series.
Next year, we're getting Disney's boats.
Probably.
We might.
Like, hey, I'm a boat that wants to go fast.
Yeah.
Actually, before we even get into our Comic-Con stuff, and we just brought up Disney real quick, did you guys see the trailer for Big Hero 6?
I did,
Yes.
and I can't wait for that.
It looks adorable.
It's another comic book movie.
Harry baby.
It's another comic book movie.
Yeah.
I read very little of anything Big Hero 6. But I know at one point Sunfire was in Big Hero 6.
Yeah, Sunfire was in Big Hero 6. It's very loosely based on the comic book.
Yeah, like Marvel's name isn't even on the poster. It's
No.
just Big Hero 6, so.
But it looks good. It looks fun.
And it's by the studio that brought us Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen. So
Yeah.
2 of the best Disney animated movies in the last couple of years.
Yeah. So that's coming out in
This fall.
the fall?
Yep.
Yeah, I did see that trailer, and I definitely enjoyed it.
I watched that trailer like 5 times. And there's actually a little Easter egg in the trailer. When the cop moves his head, one of the wanted posters is Hans from Frozen.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's pretty funny.
Of course, because I gotta get Frozen into everything.
And
But-
I mean, if we want to talk about, I have one more trailer to talk about before we get into our regular proper Comic-Con discussion. See, this is what I'm talking about. I jump everywhere. After this, Chris is going to take the wheel because I'm all over the place. But
I
did
think
you guys?
Leanne Rimes wrote a song about that, or somebody wrote a song about that.
Did you see the Tusk trailer?
I did.
I didn't. It was one of the things I meant to click on, and I just kept avoiding it for whatever reason.
It looks good. I'm actually surprised.
I'm hearing that it looked really good.
Since you didn't really watch it, we won't talk about it. But
Oh, you can talk about it.
well, I mean, it involves podcasters. Now, you guys know the origin of how this movie came to be, correct?
I do not know.
Okay.
No.
On Smodcast with Kevin Smith, they cover weird stories.
Mhm.
And this story showed up that it was a Craigslist ad. That it was an old man, he was looking for a roommate, but I think one of the stipulations of the roommate moving in was that the roommate had to dress up as a walrus and sit and listen to this guy's stories about the sea. So it turns out it was a fake Craigslist ad. They talked to the guy who actually did the ad, and like he just puts up weird ass Craigslist lists to see who'll answer. But it was enough of a seed to get this horror movie made about this Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment. Yeah, I was gonna say the other one, but she's from Hannah Montana. That Justin Long goes up to interview this guy, and it's Michael Parks from Red State. And he drugs him and starts turning him into a human walrus.
Nice.
Like, from what it looks like, he's like stitching his legs together and shit to try to make him a walrus.
Nice.
Which is freaky as hell. But yeah, the movie looks pretty good. It looks like it's the first acting appearance of Harley Quinn Smith too. She's in the trailer. She made the trailer.
Now this is me going off on a little bit of a tangent, but it involves Mr. Kevin Smith and his movie making career. Now he has been. I'm sure he listens to our show.
Yeah, of course. I know.
I'm sure he does. He's one of the 17 people.
He tweeted me.
He did. Where is Hit Somebody?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a TV show now.
I know, but where is it? I don't care about walrus people. Give me hockey movie.
The next movie coming out
takes place in Canada. It's as close to hockey movies you're gonna get.
The next movie.
It's a hockey movie based on a Warren Zevon song.
Yes, I know. But the next movie coming out is Comes the Krampus, or whatever they're calling it, which is like a whole bunch of Krampus anthology tales.
Okay.
I'm down with anything Krampus.
Yeah, and then after that, I guess either Clerks 3 or Hit Somebody.
Just give me Hit Somebody. I don't care if it's a half-hour animated thing. Just give me Hit Somebody. You've been talking about this movie for 6 years.
Hey, speaking of hockey.
No. All right, let's get to Tom. I'm done talking. Now go, Chris.
Hall of Famer Tom Glavine was a first-round draft pick by the LA Kings.
Yes, he was.
Over Brett Hull and somebody else.
Yeah, he was.
He had that in his Hall of Fame speech. I know that has nothing really to do with much that we were just talking about.
No.
Besides that hockey came up. And I never knew Tom Glavine was a hockey prospect.
Well, did you know that Eric Lindros got drafted by, I think, Toronto?
We're losing our audience. We lost 15 of our 17 people. Get to the fun shit.
Just doing this to drive Will. Doing this to drive Will crazy.
I'm gonna make you listen to that fucking Ninja song again from Ninja Turtles. You keep this shit up.
Don't you do it? I will not. I will.
You know, all the Hall of Famers that are there. George Brett is there, and I can't look at George Brett now without thinking about George Brett telling the diarrhea story.
And on that note,
let's get to the good shit.
Literally, get to the good shit.
Nice segue.
Thanks.
All right. So some little get-together happened this weekend.
It's a small thing.
Small thing.
High school reunion.
Mike's high school reunion happened this weekend.
Was big news in town, or people that came from miles and miles away. Anyway, all right. What were we talking about?
Little small thing out in San Diego. I think it's called San Diego. San Diego.
A whale's vagina?
Yes. Fuck. So anyway, Comic-Con happened this weekend, and boy, do we have some news.
Yes. There's bad armor.
There's bad armor. I guess since Will said bad armor, I guess we'll start with DC.
Yes. All right.
DC gave us a 1-minute teaser.
Fuzzy, blurry, dark.
Yeah.
Couldn't see shit. This guy can't hold a phone straight.
A few people can't hold a phone straight.
We weren't there, so we had to see this on the internet. Currently, I believe it's still out there.
Yep.
But, look for it while you can, because it might not be out there much longer. But they gave us the Batman Superman teaser. It doesn't look awful.
But it's hard to tell because nothing.
It's hard to tell because we weren't there and everything was shot on a crappy cell phone camera.
This is what happened in the trailer. Batman turned on the bat signal for some reason.
Yes.
And Superman showed up.
And
Yep.
then Superman got his angry eyes, and then Batman got his
Batman
glowy
had-
eyes, and then a logo came up.
That
And the
bat
crowd
chain.
went, yay! That was kind of that.
Yes, but he had glowy eyes. Batman had glowy eyes because it's the Frank Miller armor.
I understand that. I geeked out for the Frank Miller armor a little bit.
Time, and that was so you could see Batman's eyes.
I think, yeah, I was probably gonna. I thought for a minute, I thought it was the
Steve
animated.
Harmon when he had the glass, when he walked through and you could just see his eyeballs.
You know, that's kind of what I thought about. But I also thought it was maybe an animated movie for a minute.
Yeah.
But I don't want to trash it because they did give us something.
Yes.
It was a definite minute-long sizzle reel. You know, you're gonna get all the people salivating over it, and people were.
Mm-hmm. They also showed us Wonder Woman,
Yes.
They did show us Wonder Woman.
and she looks better than I could have possibly hoped for.
I don't hate it,
She's
I
not
love it.
star spangly.
but I don't hate it.
Yeah, she's
Lady
not
Sif
star.
is going to sue somebody.
What was that?
Lady Sif is going to sue somebody.
True.
And then
True.
Xena is going to be quite pissed as well.
Yes.
But she has the tiara, she has the bracelet, she's got a sword, she's got very dull colors.
Very
Wow.
dull colors, which has kind of been my argument with a lot of this stuff to begin with. Even going back to the last Superman movie, his costume is just too dark, and that's Batman. Yeah, Batman's costume is gonna be dark. It's supposed to be dark. He's supposed to be in the shadows, but
even
that is it.
with the Batman costume, at least the picture they showed from Comic-Con, the gray is fairly bright. His gray is brighter than Superman's blue.
Yeah, and I don't get that, but whatever. It looked cool. I mean, I will give him that. I'm holding out hope that it's going to be good,
Mm-hmm.
but we're still 2 years away from it.
2
Yeah.
freaking years so far.
That blows my mind.
It was supposed to be next year.
I know that they teased this last year. A year ago, we got the logo on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and the fans went,
And it's
"Yay!"
in 2015.
And now we're a year away from that. It
Maybe
better be fun.
Further than us, and they're filming like 3 movies back to back to back, like Lord of the Rings style.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That would be good.
They got to do something.
Yeah, we're 2 years or 8 Marvel movies away.
Yes. And I've said from the
Marvel's
beginning.
gonna have like a Power Pack movie on the slate. By the
Yeah.
Oh my God, no! Don't bring the power pack in.
D-Man and the reboot of Howard the Duck are gonna be.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
Rom Space Knight.
Rom Space Knight will have a movie, and we'll still be talking about how good Batman and Superman teaser trailers look.
Yes. I will say this though. I've said it from the beginning. Affleck has the chin for Batman.
Oh, he does.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't. It looks
That
good.
bat chin. They did a close up of the bat chin like 2 days before Comic-Con, and he's got the chin.
The costuming looks good.
And he's going to be in a few different suits. They said because action figures.
Fair enough. Again, it looks good.
Neon Street Luge Batman.
But I loved those '90s Bat figures.
They're
where
so
it was
terrible. Like I'd look at them though. I'd be like, why is he bright orange? Just-
There was this great line of Batman figures, and they were a little taller than like the animated series ones. And it was like the standard Batman figure was awesome looking, and I have it somewhere at my mom's house.
Mhm.
But then there was like another, and then they did like Azrael and
Yeah.
Nightfall Batman and all that. And then they started doing off the wall ridiculous shit. Like they did the Knights of the Round Table Batman. And
Legends of the Dark Knight Batman. The that line. I had the Robin in there. That had like these big giant weird ass pterodactyl wings, but the suit was pretty cool.
So-
They did a bunch of those weird Spider-Men too. Remember? Like,
Yeah.
they did like every Spider-Man, like, all right, you got regular Spider-Man and black costume Spider-Man, and then like every weird Spider-Man outfit that he ever had, and then there'd be like hang gliding Spider-Man.
And then like
Traffic Guard
Aqua Teen
Spider-Man.
Hunger Force Spider-Man.
Traffic Guard Spider-Man was my favorite.
Which one?
Traffic Guard Spider-Man. He had like a bright vest on and a stop sign. I shit you not. But we've gone off the rails.
We've gone off a little bit off the rails.
All right, DC stuff.
As you know, the teaser looks good. Gives us angry Superman. Gives us Batman about ready to whoop angry Superman's ass. So we'll see.
There best be some electrified gloves in that suit.
Yeah. The Wonder Woman costume.
Aquaman in it, he's gonna have his dick out the whole movie.
Right.
Which is weird, but because you can think about it, if he's in the ocean, he wouldn't really have the same concept of clothes. So he's just gonna be like dick out the whole movie. It's weird. It's an odd choice, but they're going for realism and like the darker costumes, and they're like no green pants, orange shirt.
Yeah,
they're trying to bring in the female.
They're bringing the female.
If it's a Jason Momoa guy or whatever, Momoa.
The Wonder Woman costume came out. Looks good. I just wish it was a little brighter. Colors are a little too muted for me.
Mm-hmm.
The big surprise, and this is, it had been rumored that DC was going to kind of talk about or at least fill in the gaps for the next 5 DC movies or whatever, and we got nothing.
That'll be next Comic-Con.
Not even a hint. Well, yeah, obviously it's going to be next Comic-Con because this movie is still 2 years away. There's no reason, no goddamn reason that this movie should be 2 years away.
You know why it's 2 years away? Because you got Arrow and Flash holding down the shit right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because they're not going to be in the movie.
I know.
They're going to recast them for the movie.
I know. It should be terrible, but whatever. Let's move on to Arrow.
Yes.
Because they did the season 3. I watched the season 3 sizzle reel for Arrow.
Me too.
Yeah. What's his face is going to become Arsenal? Roy? He's going to become Arsenal. He gets a costume that looks very similar to Green Arrow, just red.
Just red.
But because
what Arsenal kind of looks like.
Yes, but because the CW hates color in the names, they skipped Red Arrow and went to Arsenal. Canary shows up again, so happy for that. The season 3 villain looks like it's going to be Ra's al Ghul.
Because you can't have a DC TV show without Batman.
Well, it's not Batman, it's Ra's al Ghul.
It was up until that point. I haven't watched Arrow yet. I was considering watching it because of The Flash. And then they mispronounced the villain's name.
Now, is it
Ra's? Damn it!
Is it Ra's or Ra's? Because come on, if you look at the animated series, they call him Ra's al Ghul. Then they start calling him Ra's al Ghul.
No. The animated series, he was always Ra's al Ghul.
Really?
In fact, in Batman Beyond, Talia's in an episode and makes fun of Terry McGinnis for pronouncing it Ra's.
Really?
Yeah. And Denny O'Neil, the writer that created the character, says it's pronounced Ra's.
Maybe they'll fix it. Maybe.
No,
they got time.
They're trying to piss me off, so that's it. They're not gonna fix
Arrow's a damn good show, though.
Well, at least somebody else on this show is pissed off, and it just ain't me. It's mostly me.
Yeah, there's hints that Diggle may leave at some point to handle fatherly duties. I know Stephen Amell is pushing to actually get Harley Quinn on screen as part of the Suicide Squad, so it looks good. They show what's his name? Adam. What's Adam's name? I can't remember his name right now. His real name.
Ray Palmer.
Yeah, Ray Palmer. Yes, they show Ray Palmer, so Brandon Routh has some screen time. So
nice.
I think it's gonna be good. Season 3, I think there's premiering in October.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And Flash, that's gonna be on Tuesdays, and Flash is gonna be on Wednesdays, which I think is a mistake. They should have them both in one night.
They should have them both in one night, but
superhero power 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll see. But also some DC trailer news. New Constantine trailer came out.
I have not watched that.
Which it a lot of stuff from the original Constantine trailer, but it looks really good.
So it's good. That's coming in October also, I think, right?
I believe October on NBC.
Yeah.
So DC is going to have shows on 3 different channels?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Gotham, apparently from the pilot, it seems like Harvey Bullock kind of steals the show.
Yeah.
From Gordon, which whatever.
Which that's fine. I always kind of liked Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Donald Loge is a strong actor that just can't find a project that works. That's why I feel that Gotham will fail, because everything Donald Loge is involved and never gets running.
Yeah.
What did he have? Grounded for Life for 3, so that made it to syndication barely, and then
Barely, yeah. And then even in syndication, it kind of got canceled.
I still watch that show every now and then, though. It's on Hulu. I watch it.
But yeah, the Constantine trailer looks good. They teased a Dr. Fate helmet at one point.
That looks so good.
Which
If they
was
bring in
cool.
Dr. Fate, wow.
Now, I don't know an awful lot about Constantine. Does he exist in the... I know he's like a Vertigo character. The Vertigo characters exist in the Vertigo universe?
Here's the thing. The Constantine, which they're basing this off of, is the Vertigo. Then that ended, and they restarted it. That was Hellblazer. Then they restarted it as Constantine in the New 52, which is now part of
the DC universe.
The DC universe. But it looks like they're basing this on Hellblazer, which was more adult in tone.
Okay.
So I don't know a huge amount. I actually just listened to a podcast where they did a farewell to Hellblazer. And that was my entire introduction to the character of Constantine. Luckily, I never watched the Keanu Reeves movie.
That wasn't...
Whoa.
It's kind of Constantine in name and kind of concept. It's not horrible. But if you're a fan of Constantine and Hellblazer, you're going to be completely disappointed. But I'm definitely looking forward to this. I think out of all the DC shows that are coming down, Flash, Gotham, and
good.
I heard Flash is good too.
I see
but I think this is the one I'm the most excited for. Just because it's a little different and it's not superhero-y and it's kind of got that occult kind of thing. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
So they're getting to the occult before Marvel gets to the occult.
Whatever.
They gotta do something before Marvel.
But he's not gonna play Constantine in the movie, so it doesn't make
it doesn't make any difference.
True. All right, we have any more DC stuff?
That's all I got for DC.
All right, so now we move on to Marvel, who every year seems to own Comic-Con.
Yeah, and I don't know if I don't necessarily know if they owned Comic-Con this year. Going back to DC, that Batman Superman minute-long trailer was a big hit at Comic-Con, and everybody's been talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
From what I seen, all the news seemed pretty widespread. It didn't feel dominated by the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
No, not like it has been the last couple of years.
No.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a rebuilding year.
That's a rebuilding.
I did see Josh Brolin showed up with an Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, he did.
He did.
He
showed up with Aunt May's oven mitt.
But we got the Avengers Age of Ultron panel. They had everybody come out. Robert Downey Jr. came out. It kind of as Tony Stark in a way, where he's like throwing roses to the crowd and just having a grand old time.
Why? Because he loves them because they brought his career back.
Oh, they absolutely. But they did the whole panel, the question and answer stuff, and footage of that has made it out of Hall H.
Footage of the footage, though.
Nothing else has made it out of that room.
Nope. And I want to see it.
And I want to see it too.
And what's the word on what they showed?
What they showed was...
I'm going to see if I got it here. I got the description.
Pretty fucking amazing from what I've ever heard. And in my...
I'll be honest with you, I did watch a lot of watching trailer stuff, but I didn't do an awful lot of reading.
That's fine. Just from reading this and in kind of my mind's eye visualizing this, I'm so jacked for this one.
So what they show? You didn't answer my question.
All right, I got the description of the footage right here. Okay.
There's all kinds of nerd cool, but it doesn't fucking tell me what it is.
Interrupt me when you need to. Okay, here's the footage. Scene opens up with Avengers, including James Rhodes and Maria Hill, as they're relaxing and having some drinks at what we could assume is the new Avengers Tower. This is from nerdbastards.com, by the way, what I'm reading here.
Okay.
They each take turns trying to pick up Mjolnir. Stark gives it a shot, but it has no luck, so he brings out the big guns and Iron Man arm, which he wears and gives it another shot. No movement.
There was some dialogue in there where he's mouthing off to Thor about when he picks his hammer up, how he's going to rule Asgard.
That's not in my things, but that sounds like something he would say. Rhodes joins in wearing a War Machine arm. Between the two of them, the hammer doesn't budge. Banner gives it a shot, and after he realizes he can't move it, pretends to Hulk out. Black Widow declines to try, but Cap gives it a shot and actually manages to lift it an inch or two, much to the shock of Thor. It's all fun and games.
And that was one of the old bits in the comic. That the only guy that ever picked up Thor's hammer aside from Thor was Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice to see.
I guess Wonder Woman did too once, but that was.
And Beta Ray Bill.
Anybody that wasn't actually Thor.
It's all fun and games until a badly damaged Ultron shows up to the party and tells him that he had a dream that everyone in the human race was screaming. He makes it known that the Avengers are just murderers, which is why they are not worthy to hold Mjolnir. Then the action begins, as if that wasn't action. We all see the Avengers in full gear. They zoom about a city that's been destroyed. Hulk jumps onto a tank and causes some damage. There are military vehicles throughout the entire scene. We see Scarlet Witch shooting red energy from her hands and Quicksilver running around in a blur. Black Widow is hurrying to help innocents before a building is destroyed. We see Hulk as he gets angry, and Iron Man suits up in the Hulkbuster armor. Hulk tosses a car at him, and they begin to fight. The scene cuts to a shot that shows Captain America's shield destroyed, and then pans up to show Tony Stark staring at the rest of the Avengers' dead and broken bodies. Then cut to the title. That's it.
So I'm assuming that the Stark standing over the dead Avengers is a dream sequence.
One would hope so.
Yeah.
While
Marvel's rebooting their universe while you're watching it.
you're watching it.
It's daring.
But just to me, it just sounds like fucking awesome.
Well, actually, I was at IGN. No, Entertainment Weekly was doing some interviews with all the cast of Agent of Ultron, and they had Mark Ruffalo and Robert Downey Jr. there, and they were talking. They're kind of hinting of why they're fighting. Basically, since Banner is now working in Stark Tower, and they're both working on things, they're kind of collaborating on projects, and it seems like Banner gets a little annoyed at Tony that Ultron's kind of fucking things up.
Yeah.
You look at the 8-part poster they released over Comic-Con weekend, which is my desktop wallpaper, and it's beautiful. It's just the Avengers fighting in a sea of Ultrons.
Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Because he keeps replicating himself. Because basically this was Tony Stark's idea to have Ultron, so they don't have to risk their lives and go out there. He kind of made an AI to do it. That one goes horribly wrong. But yeah, that footage does sound amazing, and I want to see it.
Yeah, and it did not make it out of Hall H at all. I give props to the security.
Yeah.
You know, it almost is like, you know, DC kind of went like, please get this footage out there. And Marvel's like, fuck you, you don't get to see it until we say you get to see it.
I'm sure it'll be available in a couple weeks. They're usually good like that.
I'm hearing it won't be for a couple months.
What's the next movie? Well, besides Guardians, it's not going to be out for Guardians.
I would love to go see Guardians next weekend and be like, it's the Avengers trailer. But that's not going to happen.
Maybe.
It's not going to happen.
We can hope.
We can hope, but I don't think it's
maybe it's the after credits. Like kind of like Captain America had the after credits for Avengers.
Maybe.
Because the next movie coming out is Avengers. Crack the code.
You may have. But yeah, without actually seeing it, it sounds like everything I had hoped it could possibly be.
Mm-hmm. It does.
You know, I want, and from the concept art I've seen, you know, just seeing Hulk and Tony and the Hulkbuster armor going at it is kind of badass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got Brolin showing up with the Infinity Gauntlet, as we said at this panel, which was kind of cool.
I wonder if Mikey's going to show up.
He might.
Mikey from Google.
A Goonies reference. But also in that same.
Oh, I get it.
You know, that whole. They also showed an Ant-Man trailer.
Yeah.
Which, from what I'm hearing, was good. Although I do hear that the guy that's directing it got booed
I think because he's not Edgar Wright.
because he's not Edgar Wright, and I don't think that's fair.
No.
So we'll see. But it was a busy day because they got the Ant-Man stuff out there. You get to see Paul Rudd in the Ant-Man outfit riding on a giant flying, or not a giant flying ant, but a flying ant.
Yeah. And it's Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd's first Comic-Con also.
Yes. The villain. They announced that the villain is going to be Yellow Jacket.
Makes me so happy. There'd be so many bug-themed heroes on the screen.
I know.
Evangeline Lilly is officially.
Of Van Dyne.
Yeah, I can't remember her first name.
I can't remember who they're calling.
No, not Janet.
They're not calling her Janet.
No, it's Hank Pym's daughter.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember her name now. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember too. She was in Next Generation Avengers or whatever.
Yeah. I think she also becomes the Wasp at some point.
Probably.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm sure that'll be a lead into Ant-Man 2 eventually. If
If
Ant-Man isn't really legitimately the only Marvel movie I'm worried about right now.
Yeah, and we've said this a couple times. I'm kind of worried about Ant-Man just because of a little bit of turmoil, and
I know.
But one miss out of however many they've had in the past couple of years is a pretty decent record.
You know what's not a miss though?
No, and I don't know. It's not a miss. From what I've heard, it is not a miss. It is everything we'd hoped for and more.
Yes. Currently, I'm going to double check right now, but as of
Still a week away. That
What?
sucks. We're still a week away, and it
know.
sucks.
Yeah. But as of
Where's
a couple
that time
days
machine,
ago,
Mike?
it was sitting at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I'm going to see where it is now. Let's see. Still at 100%.
Yeah, and I know two people that saw a sneak preview of it, the whole movie, today, and they said that the one guy said this is his new favorite Marvel movie.
That's what I'm hearing.
And that, I mean, when you consider the Avengers, Winter Soldier, everything, that is his favorite. Damn.
Yeah. And I haven't been this excited for a movie in a really long time.
And they already announced for July 2017 Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
July 28th, 2017.
Yep. Now,
Worrying about 2017.
what? Oh,
I can't be worried about 2017.
true.
Now we got too much going on in 2016.
Yeah, which we'll get to in a minute because I'm a little disappointed in Marvel in that regards, but I do have one more bit of Marvel news here. They had the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel,
Yes.
which for anybody who stopped, we've mentioned it a few times. Chris even did it. He stopped watching halfway through, and that's right when it started getting really, really good.
Yes.
So right now they're in the rebuilding of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And for me, it wasn't even that I got I turned it off for a reason. It was like I was busy like 2 weeks in a row, and I felt like I was too far behind at that point, and didn't just jump right back into it.
Yeah.
That was the same with me, really. I mean, I had the last 5 episodes sitting on my DVR for the longest time until 2 weekends ago we finally said, screw it, we got to watch this. And we just powered through all of them. At the end, I almost was standing cheering.
Yeah, I did. At the end, I was like, so good! But they announced a new superhero that will actually show up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Mockingbird.
Very nice.
Yes. I didn't even realize she actually was called the Huntress at one point. But I guess the DC said, hey, stop that. So they changed her to Mockingbird. But Mockingbird is the on-again, off-again girlfriend of Hawkeye.
Yes.
Because they said they're trying to get another Avenger on the show to guest star a little bit, because I guess Nick Fury is going to kind of be low-key a bit. So,
Low-key or low-key?
Low-key. So it sounds like Hawkeye, they're trying to shoot for Hawkeye to make an appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, which would be pretty cool.
Because I'm a big Hawkeye fan.
Also make the most sense.
Characters that in the comics, she was dead for a long time.
Yes.
I want to say. Yeah, she was around in the 80s. They killed her in the early 90s. And
That's like saying Jean Grey's dead.
No, I mean, she was dead.
Wolverine's dead.
Yeah, sure.
No, but it was. I mean, she was a. They dropped her like a hot rock. You didn't see Mockingbird in anything for a long time.
She wasn't exactly a big draw, you know.
No, she was a West Coast Avenger. That was.
Yeah.
A couple more little bits I have with Marvel. Still sticking with Marvel Studios. Apparently, the Daredevil show is going to have a New York City in the 70s feel.
And I dig that.
Yeah, it's going to be a little gritty. New York City. I don't know if that means that.
City.
What was that?
Hot time, summer in the city.
Yes. So I don't know if that means that it's just going to be gritty like that, or if they're going to put it in the 70s. I really hope they don't put it in the 70s, just because it's supposed to tie in with the current universe. So.
Yeah, you don't have like a 50-year-old Daredevil flipping around in a bed.
Yeah.
Hey, he's got that cane, but it's not for stunts. It's for actual walking.
Get off my lawn!
Oh, Clint Eastwood is Daredevil.
But keep in mind, Agent Carter is going to be back
Yes.
at the beginning of S.H.I.E.L.D., so if you set Daredevil in the 70s, it could be a bridge.
We could.
True.
We could. Yeah, they have a panel for that too, and
Well, the cool thing about setting that stuff in the 70s, too, then, is if you're going to do Iron Fist and Power Man in the 70s, you can go big afro and wide collars and...
oh my god,
Chain
it needs
belt.
to be Isaiah Mustafa. It needs to be Isaiah Mustafa for Power Man, the Old Spice guy. Or Terry Crews. Either one of them.
I want Terry Crews.
Terry Crews' Power Man would be great. And the last bit of Marvel news I have, besides the stuff that kind of falls under miscellaneous later on, is Sinister Six, which we thought was canceled, isn't canceled. It's got a release date now of November 11th, 2016.
And I'm still trying to. And that's taken the. You said that was taking the place of
Spider-Man 3, which is now
Spider-Man
got
3?
pushed to 2017 or 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're going to do a movie
But-
just about Sinister Six?
Yeah.
But we were kind of talking about this off air. Who are the six?
That's I'm looking in this article to see if they actually name the six, but
They teased it at the end of Spider-Man 2 as being
Rhino,
Rhino,
Goblin,
Goblin,
Electro.
Octopus, Electro, and Vulture.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gotta
Okay.
be who it is. Because again, Mysterio gets no play.
Mysterio.
I really want Mysterio to show up.
He's got to have the big fishbowl head.
He
Yes.
has to. I just want.
I will
Mysterio to
not
show up.
take. I will not take Keenan Ivory Wayans in like a non-fishbowl headed outfit.
I think my favorite boss fight in any Spider-Man game was the first time you fight Mysterio and he's like robbing a store and his life bar is like 3 life bars and you punch him once and he just goes down.
Yeah.
It was great. But
For all you people that are too young that are listening to this show, Jamie Foxx was on a show called In Living Color with Keenan Ivory Wayans
Yes.
way back in the day.
yeah, kids, ask your parents.
It was funny.
But yeah, it's just a little odd that they pushed Amazing Spider-Man 3 out so far and they're going to focus on an all-villain movie.
I don't get it.
With Guardians of the Galaxy being as good as we think it is, what is not possible for Marvel, really?
Yeah, but see, you got to remember, this isn't Marvel Studios. This is Sony,
This is Sony. And,
which
you
has
know,
rebooted Spider-Man already. Just so they don't have to give up the license.
I'm trying to be positive here.
No.
Yeah, and I don't see what It's an odd choice because I don't see where the end game of it is and who's the hero. If you're doing a Sinister, am I rooting for the Sinister Six through this movie, or is there going to be some guys that are just going to kill?
Or
I
is
would
this
think it would have been like Spider-Man 3 Sinister Six.
maybe what the
No.
Sinister Six is going to be a lead into Spider-Man 3? It's going to be the backstory of how maybe Spider-Man's going to be in it and like they're going to cut the fight scenes fighting Spider-Man.
I think you kind of have to put Spider-Man in it at some level to
Get the kids in there.
some animosity to it.
Because I mean, as cool as those villains are, I am not going to see that movie.
No. Unless I don't know. I don't even know
If
what
it's at the $2 place across the street, maybe. But
because you know they're going to put fucking 3D in there. Nobody's going to go see a whole movie about villains in 3D.
nobody's Nobody's gonna see a whole movie about villains.
I don't know.
I don't
That's
think
a weird
villain
choice.
movie works.
Yeah.
That's a weird choice.
They've been talking about doing villain movies for years. The closest one we ever got to was what, Catwoman?
Yeah, that was bad. We don't even talk
Kind of a
about that.
villain movie, and that's considered one of the worst superhero movies of all time.
That's considered one of the worst movies
In general, of all
of
time.
all time.
But I mean, they've been talking about a Venom movie even before they were talking about before they made the Spider-Man movies. They almost made a Venom movie.
Yeah, but that freaking Topher Grace's Venom was terrible.
Well, that's got nothing to do with any of it. They keep talking about trying to making a Joker movie, making a Harley Quinn movie, making a Loki movie, making a Magneto movie.
Yeah, that Magneto movie just turned into X-Men First Class, I think.
Yeah, it always gets put on a table and then just goes away.
I watch a Magneto movie of him hunting Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Boys from Brazil type of thing, a Magneto just going around fighting superpowered Nazis.
Inglorious Bastards starring Magneto. Now, my one problem I had with Marvel, I mean, Kevin Feige came out at the beginning and said, listen, this is what we're focusing on. We're focusing on Avengers, we're focusing on Ant-Man, and we're focusing on Guardians. Okay, fine. But there is a rumored list of movies coming out. Like, there was rumors going around that Joaquin Phoenix was in talks to be Doctor Strange, that the guy from Attack the Block, which name is escaping me right now, is in talks to be Black Panther. Because there's talks that, I mean, Wakanda is in Age of Ultron. So there's talks that Black Panther is going to show up at some point.
Yeah, I would hope he would.
I mean,
Even if it's just a one-off cameo.
Yeah. But now the rumored release date list for these Marvel movies, which some of it sounds too good to be true, but here's what we got. Starting May 1st, you got...
But again, nothing's been announced, kind of like on the DC side. DC didn't announce anything in the future. Past Ant-Man Age of Ultron, Marvel didn't announce anything.
Part of me is thinking Marvel's keeping it close to the vest right now just because they want to see what happens with Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going to get its ass kicked by Captain America 3.
Well, this is what we got going on. May 1st, 2015, Avengers Age of Ultron, which is the end of Marvel Phase 2. So your start of Marvel Phase 3 is July 17th, 2015 is Ant-Man. Which, okay, hopefully you start Phase 3 off right.
Yeah.
May 6th, 2016 is Captain America: The Fallen Sun. Which I didn't realize that was the subtitle for it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the real subtitle. I mean, we're still far enough out that it's going to change.
But that could possibly lead into Chris Evans retiring as Captain America and passing it on to Bucky.
And passing it on to...
Or passing it on to Falcon.
Probably Falcon.
Probably Falcon, since they're doing that in the comic book.
They're not going to do that.
You don't think so?
They're not going to take Steve Rogers out of being Captain America in the Captain America movies.
Unless Chris Evans is not going to act anymore.
Yeah, because he said he doesn't want to act.
Well, even at that point, then they're just gonna, if they plug somebody else in, the Captain America part is going to be downplayed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody else's Captain America is not Steve Rogers.
True.
True.
Well, here's the thing, though. After the Captain America movie, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 movies before Avengers, and none of them, one of them has to deal with one of the people currently in the Avengers. Because after Captain America 3, which we don't know what it's called yet, July 8th, 2016 is Doctor Strange. Then now you don't have another movie till 2017. May 5th, 2017 is Thor, which the subtitle says is Ragnarok. So
Again,
which is the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then they got 5 movies planned after that, which Ragnarok.
Yeah, then you have July 28th, 2017, Guardian of the Galaxy War of Kings. Which
again, don't like that title.
Yeah, we don't know if that's the actual subtitle. November 3rd, so this is your third movie in 2017, Black Panther. Maybe.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah. Now, July 6th, 2018, this title made me so excited when I read it.
But
Avengers,
again,
we don't know if it's true. Avengers Civil War.
See, that put me off when I heard it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I like the idea, but the one problem I have with that is there is this one giant thing kind of hanging out in the open here that we were supposed to get in that third Avengers movie, and Civil War is not it. It's a big purple guy. He's got a big gold thing on his hand with.
But he's shown up in Guardians.
Yeah, but he's been teased in the Avengers movie.
Joss Whedon said just because he was at the event of Avengers doesn't mean that the Avengers are going to fight him right away.
Yeah, but you have to. I think he's got to be in that third Avengers movie.
Yeah, you have to have a payoff in Avengers if you tease him in it. He'll appear somewhere else first, but the Avengers have to fight him.
As much as I hope that
I can't see them doing Civil War because they can't do Civil War properly because they don't have everybody's rights.
True. Yeah. Unless they're
Spider-Man, you don't have the X-Men, you don't have Fantastic Four.
You're not going to do a movie where you're going to break up the Avengers.
Well, let me get my last two movies in here, and then I'll tell you what I think is going to happen with that Avengers movie. After that, which I guess would end Phase 3 for Marvel, so they always said it's going to end with an Avengers movie. November 2nd, 2018 is, they're saying, I don't think this is true at all, World War Hulk, which I don't think is going to happen. And then May 3rd, 2019, Inhumans. Which
I could be down with that.
It's a tough one, but
yeah.
Now, but then again, we thought Guardians was going to be a tough one.
Yeah, but actually, in the long run too, you make Inhumans. You essentially have you just turn Inhumans into where you plug them in where the X-Men would be.
Yeah.
True.
Now, here's what I think is going to happen with that Avengers movie. I don't think it's going to be Civil War, because the rumor is that the third Avengers movie is going to be the Avengers Guardian of the Galaxy team-up movie.
I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
That's when they're going to fight Thanos.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Almost like a mini Infinity Gauntlet, almost.
I would rather see Avengers Infinity Gauntlet than Civil War.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or Avengers War of the Gems.
I want to see a Secret Wars movie.
Can't do Secret Wars without Black Suit Spider-Man, so talk to Sony.
I know but you can't do it without without half of the properties that Marvel doesn't have. But as soon as they get those properties back, I want a goddamn Secret Wars movie.
That would be so great. All right, so
I want to see the Beyonder. I want the Beyonder on the big screen.
I don't want to see the Beyonder. I want to hear his voice. I don't want to see the guy in the
Elvis suit.
I want to see the Watcher. I want the Watcher.
I want to see young 50s Beyonder. I don't want to see end of the career Beyonder.
All right, so I think that wraps up our Marvel.
Yeah, I don't have anything else more.
Let's get to the miscellaneous. Which you can kind of bridge to the miscellaneous with Star Wars.
You can.
Yes.
Because Marvel announced a new Star Wars comic slate.
Yes, because Marvel has gotten the rights back from Dark Horse.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of a shame because I hope Marvel does it justice because Dark Horse has done a tremendous job over these last 20 years or so.
Oh, yeah.
Owning the property.
The first three titles that they talked about is Star Wars, just Star Wars proper, written by Jason Aaron and John Cassidy. Star Wars Darth Vader by Kieran Gillian and Salvador LaRocca. And Star Wars Princess Leia by Mark Waid and Terry Dodson. So I'm going to guess they're probably going to be out in time with the new movie.
Probably.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't really go into when they're coming out, just that they're coming out.
No. And speaking of the new movie, this wasn't Comic-Con. This isn't necessarily Comic-Con related, but in the past week or so, there has been a rumored plot line for this film hitting the net. And I'm praying to God that it is not true because it just to me it just doesn't sound good. It doesn't necessarily sound like a Star Wars movie.
Well, inform us.
The movie starts off with you have the traditional Star Wars scroll, episode 7, blah 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 blah, whatever it's called. It's a time of galactic civil war. But
it's happening.
It's happening.
Yellow text.
Yeah, lots of yellow text scrolling away from you on the screen.
Send from my iPhone.
Yeah. Supposedly, immediately after that, where after in the traditional Star Wars universe, in the movies, you get the scroll, and then it pans to a planet, a ship, whatever.
Right.
Supposedly it pans to a severed hand holding a lightsaber.
Oh no.
The lightsaber comes crashing down to a desert planet, which supposedly is not Tatooine.
So wait, we're saying already 3 seconds into the movie, there's already your first severed limb.
There's the first severed
Okay.
limb.
We gotta keep track of this shit.
It comes down, it crashes down, and it lands on a planet, which I call shenanigans right away.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's Mace Windu's arm.
Because it would have burnt up in space. It would have burnt up in the atmosphere. So, whatever. So these two people, I don't remember what the two actors are, come up on it. They realize that it's an old Jedi weapon, and they take it to the town, and they find, this smuggler and his co-pilot, and they show it to him, and they recognize it as being one Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, and that obviously the smuggler and the co-pilot, Han and Chewie. And then they go off on this search for Luke, who they haven't seen in 30 years.
It's like Star Trek 2. No, 3.
It just, to me, it just sounds awful. It sounds so awful. It's so fake.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
It doesn't sound real.
Well, here's why it's not real. Because you didn't mention that when the hand and the lightsaber came down, there was lens flare. Therefore, it's not a J.J. Abrams thing. Therefore, it's not real.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been making the rounds on the internet for the past week or so. Again, I don't believe a word of it. I think it's Abrams kind of, if it got leaked, it's Abrams going like, hey, you think you're gonna get one on me? And
yeah, he's got his shit on lockdown, almost as good as Hall H.
I really just, I can't imagine that after everything that those characters had been through, and after the rescue that, Luke and everybody put on to get Han from Jabba the Hutt,
Yeah,
that
I don't think
Han and Chewie have not seen Luke Skywalker and everybody in 30 years.
They moved to Vermont and they opened a bed and breakfast.
Yeah,
And
I just,
being a smuggler
yeah, I don't get it.
after he freed the galaxy from.
Freed the galaxy, professed his love to the princess and all that, and now all of a sudden he hasn't seen everybody in 30 years. I don't buy it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound real. But,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound real. I'm hoping that I'm really hoping beyond hope that it's not.
But Mark Hamill does have a new contractually obligated Jedi beard.
He does, and I
Yes.
approve. I approve.
You have to have that when you're a Jedi Master.
Yes.
That's Liam Neeson had one. I was going to say, that's why Liam Neeson died, but he didn't. He had one.
He had one. The only one that didn't have one was Yoda.
Yep.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, no, he had some whiskers. Samuel L. Jackson. Well, let's not even talk about Mace Windu because he went out like a bitch. I was so upset.
Wow, I was so disappointed.
Nobody went out like a bitch more than Kit Fisto.
I know, and Kit
Everybody loved Kit Fisto. He's like, oh, Kit Fisto's so cool. And then he just,
I just hope there's
in a movie, and they're just like, ah.
I just don't want any terribly George Lucas names like fucking Savage Opress.
Yeah, my head tentacle.
I don't want any Savage Opress names or General Grievous. Even that was fucking terrible. Or what was Dexter Jetstetter, the fucking diner owner? I don't want any of those names.
Yeah. I think it's just kind of a Blue Harvest kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. All right, where are we going next? What else?
Star Wars Rebels trailer came out.
Yes, which I did not watch.
Which you did not watch. Looks good. Looks promising. A lot of the characters kind of have that. They kind of paid tribute to certain things from the old 70s and 80s toy line, which I think is kind of cool.
I saw something that looked like the old early Star Wars toy line troop transport for the Stormtroopers.
Yes,
cool.
exactly. There's that kind of stuff in this, in this show, which I think is cool. Take us back to that, that better time, I guess.
Well, did you guys see the Kevin Smith thing from Comic-Con that I posted, where he's talking about the Millennium Falcon?
No.
And I saw when he was visiting, he had that talk in England or whatever when he was over there. So I heard him talk about that, but I didn't see the thing you posted.
Yeah, there was a thing I put it on. I thought I put it on the Ninjaverse page. Maybe I put it on my page, but he talked about going to see the Millennium Falcon and walking on, going to see the set and walking on real sets, not green screen stuff, and then being on the Millennium, like walking up the ramp to the Millennium Falcon and it moving him to the point of tears.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Oh yeah.
I would be a blubbering idiot.
And he talked about how much it meant to him and how he was 7 years old again, standing there.
I would be like, I'm never leaving.
This was the thing. He feels that, and it's what I've been saying the whole time about J.J. Abrams and having this, is you have a guy now that Star Wars is the thing that inspired him to make movies.
Yeah, he grew up.
And that's, Kevin Smith went through this thing of emotion and talked about it. And was, he tells it's a multi-layered story that he goes through. But he talked about how he signed a non-disclosure agreement, so he couldn't say an awful lot about anything. But, he did say that he saw the Millennium Falcon, he was on the Millennium Falcon, he touched the Millennium Falcon, talked about how great it was. Then he got a phone call from, I don't know if it was from J.J. Abrams or J.J. Abrams' people or whoever it was, and I was like, can you please stop talking about the Millennium Falcon? Like, well, I thought I was okay in the non-disclosure thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's all well and good. But the problem is you keep telling people about it and how great it was, and people keep calling Disney, and now they all want to be on the Millennium Falcon.
That's funny.
It's coming.
And he's like, just charge people for that shit.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. That's for another show, but it's coming.
If they added a Star Wars theme park to Disney, I'll be there opening day.
It's coming.
One day.
It's coming.
Okay, cool. All right, moving on.
It's starting to breathe. It might not be coming, but it's starting to breathe heavy.
It's just that cat.
But Kevin Smith, look for this thing, Kevin Smith's Comic-Con story about that, the whole story, and then the way he wraps it up. What it comes to at the end, it was it's funny and emotional. It's touching and dirty and everything that Kevin Smith wants to be in one of his stories.
Nice. Cool.
Speaking of Kevin Smith, this is kind of just, you got me thinking about this. This is another thing that got posted, I guess Friday from Comic-Con, is that there was a trailer for Superman Lives.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the documentary on what should have been
Superman Lives. Yeah.
Yes, the death of Superman Lives, which should have been, which looks good.
It's the Nicolas Cage Superman.
Yes, it's got actual footage of like Nicolas Cage getting fitted for the Superman costume. Thank God that movie never got made.
That was going to be the Tim Burton produced.
Kevin Smith originally did a write on it. And no, it wasn't Tim Burton. Was it Tim Burton produced? But it was directed by Barbra Streisand's ex-husband.
Yeah,
husband.
Guy.
What the hell is his name?
Kevin. No,
Larry something.
John Peters was the producer. I don't know. I'm looking at the article here. I don't see his name in here. So
it was supposed to be written by Streisand's husband, ex-husband, or whatever, and pretty much Kevin Smith has told this story, and where everything that he wanted that this guy wanted Kevin Smith to put in this movie ended up in Wild Wild West.
Yep.
Yes.
Kevin Smith signed my copy of the script when I met him a couple years ago.
So it's probably going to be a limited release thing, maybe direct to DVD kind of thing, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on a copy of that.
Funniest thing is when I was in line to meet him at the Tough Shit signing, Michael Zabsik was walking up and down the line. I'm like, I'm going to have him sign this. He's like, oh, wow, I haven't seen one of these scripts for a while. We actually had to pull them out of the store because Warner Brothers came down and had them destroy all their copies. So I'm like, wow, I don't see nothing right now.
And Zabsik's like, nope.
Yep. So I go up, I get up to Kevin Smith, and I have my copy of Tough Shit, and I have the script. I said, I know you can only sign one thing. I don't know which one to choose. He's like, give me the script. So I gave him the script. It says, Will, fuck Tim Burton. Kevin Smith. So, and he wanted me to take a picture of him with the script, so I put it. That's actually, I think, my Twitter picture right now, or it was my Twitter picture for a long time. So yeah, I saw the pictures of Nicolas Cage. And I'm like, no, it's back.
It's back.
It scared me.
Looks fun.
All right. Let's see. Want to talk about Legendary's surprises?
Sure.
Okay. Well, they announced Godzilla 2.
Woo!
Yes.
Because if you haven't seen Godzilla 1, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go out and see Godzilla.
I brought Harley to see it, and Harley was like, I don't know if I want to see that. And she loved it.
Again, better than I had any right to think it would be. And
You
I
know,
thought it was going to be good.
I haven't seen a more polarizing film come down since, because people either are on the left or the right of this, where it's great and they loved it, or it's stunk and they hate it.
I don't disagree with that.
I haven't talked to any of them and just like, it was okay.
You know why? Because the trailer makes it look like a completely different movie from what it is.
Okay.
I went and saw it with two friends and my wife, and the first half of the movie, I won't lie to you, if you haven't seen it, it drags a little bit.
No, but
And she kind of elbowed me, and she's like, "The hell is with this?" She's like, "It's a Godzilla movie. I want to see him smashing shit." And I'm like, "Wait till we get home."
But that's a Godzilla movie.
That's a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like that night, I put in like Godzilla versus the Thing, and the whole for those of you that don't know, the Thing is Mothra. The whole first half of that movie is just a lot of dialogue, maybe an occasional picture of, shot of Mothra or Godzilla smashing something. But that's a Godzilla movie. People think that Godzilla movies are all just him smashing Tokyo.
there's story there.
There's story there.
Happened on model tanks.
Yeah. It takes a while to get to that point.
Yes.
And I loved it. I really did. I haven't seen much this summer, but that until next weekend, that's when I'm really summer. Sorry, Godzilla, but next weekend you're done.
It's over. It was fun. But no,
It's over. It's never over.
who were the monsters they announced for Godzilla 2?
Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, who is also known as Monster Zero.
Yes.
And I can't fucking wait.
The cast of Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, as a matter of fact.
Exactly. From what I hear, is Mothra and Rodan are going to be kind of kaiju from Earth, and of course Ghidorah is going to be from space, which makes sense because he's kind of nothing like from here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the Monster Zero thing came from. It was the aliens. Godzilla
Was the aliens? Yeah.
Mothra was Monster 2, Rodan was Monster 3,
Yes.
Ghidorah was Monster 0.
Yes.
And speaking of the kaiju, they did talk about Pac Rim 2.
Yes.
That's coming too. And apparently at Comic-Con they had the Pacific Rim Oculus Rift experience.
Really?
Where you had a VR headset on and you were piloting a Jaeger.
Wow. Wow. I'm down with that.
I was like, that sounds so great. But the big surprise was a prequel to King Kong called Skull Island.
Really?
Yep.
I missed that news.
I did see something about that. I didn't get a chance to read it, but
I may have seen something on it, but passed on it because I didn't realize what it was.
Well, here's the description of the clip that was shown. The clip shows started a rainstorm pouring down over big waves in the ocean. Audio narration included lines from Heart of Darkness. Going up that river was like traveling back to the beginning of the world, when the plants ran wild and trees were kings. Shots of an island, lush jungle, monkeys, and creatures. Being alone in the wilderness, it looked like it had looked within itself, and by heavens, I tell you, it had gone mad. We penetrated deeper and deeper into the heart of darkness. We see a cave shaped like a skull reveal the logo of legendary Skull Island. So it's either a prequel or sequel to King Kong. They're not sure yet.
If King Kong is not fighting a kaiju or a Jaeger at some point in the next 5 to 6 years.
Oh my God!
he's fighting a 50-foot tall Adrian Brody.
if Godzilla 3
from Sons of Anarchy.
If Godzilla 3 is King Kong versus Godzilla.
I'm done. My movie watching life has come full circle. I'm done. I can die a happy man.
Yeah, that'll be good.
All
right. And
So, I got a little bit of I guess I'll call it a review.
okay.
because I didn't get to go to Comic-Con, as we discussed last week. You guys lied to me, and I wasn't allowed to go to Comic-Con. You blew my Comic-Con money on hookers and blow.
I was just gonna say hookers and blow, man. Hookers and blow. I got the hookers. Will got blown.
So I prayed and I prayed, and the Comic-Con fairy came and left underneath my pillow a copy of Expendables 3.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
So as of this moment, I've watched an hour of Expendables 3.
Is it the biggest bro movie to ever bro?
Dude, shit just blows up, and guys talk shit to each other.
Fantastic.
It's just like it's just guys flexing in a pissing contest.
I still haven't watched Expendables.
Were you expecting Hamlet?
And saying cool one-liners and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't watched number 2 yet. I think it's on my Netflix.
I haven't watched 2 yet either.
I'll just give you a quick opening scene synopsis. I'll put it.
Okay.
You don't really need to see 2. I mean, 2 is awesome. 2 has some really cool stuff in it, and it's probably the best work you're going to see out of Jean-Claude Van Damme in the past dozen years.
It's probably the only work you're going to see out of Jean-Claude.
Sadly, yes.
But they start this movie up like classic old school action movie style, big opening action scene, James Bond, an old school western. You're getting shit going on in the first couple of minutes, where the Expendables are attacking a train. They're in a helicopter and they're attacking a train.
Okay.
And there's guys on the trains with machine guns and stuff, and there's some big 50 cal that comes out of the back of one of the train cars, and cool shit's happening, stuff's blowing up.
Does a stripper from Under Siege show up and come up out of a table?
Yes.
When does Steven Seagal show up?
They said Steven Seagal won't be in any of these movies because he's a douchebag.
Well, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying.
It's a prison train that they are rescuing Wesley Snipes off of.
Yeah.
Prison Train, Wesley Snipes. I've seen that movie.
And they get him off the, they free him. They go through the whole
ice.
They end the action scenario, and then they're like, "What you get locked up for?" And he looks at him and he goes, "Tax evasion."
Oh my God.
So this movie is not taking itself serious at all.
It totally can't.
It can't. And between that, when Harrison Ford shows up as the new CIA agent, and they reference the old CIA agent Church, and they're like, "Yeah, he's not going to be around anymore." And Harrison Ford's like, "He's no longer in the picture," which is Bruce Willis's character, who didn't want to, he wanted an extra $1 million or something to do the movie.
Gritty and lazy.
Yes, Stallone said that, and then he charged people $300 an autograph at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
And the other thing that I'll get up to, as far as highlights go, is Ronda Rousey's character's introduction when she's in a short red cocktail dress and heels.
I've seen it. It's in the new trailer.
And thick black glasses. And it's worth the price of admission just for Ronda Rousey.
Nice.
And then when the new Expendables and the old Expendables start mouthing off to each other, the whole movie is it's goofy ass shit, but fun goofy ass popcorn stuff blowing up. 10 years from now, when this movie's on FX on a Saturday night in the summer when nothing else is on, I'm watching it. Just like Predator, just like Die Hard, just like any of those movies. It's the continuation of that. These movies are fun for the sake of fun. Mm-hmm. You're not getting great acting. You're not even getting a great plot, storyline, whatever.
But sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you just need something you're going to sit and just enjoy for...
Michael Bay had a career.
Nothing maniacal villain. There's just cool shit in it. Kelsey Grammer's in the movie for some reason. Kelsey Grammer's good in the movie.
Yeah, I was trying to explain that to Mary last night, I guess, because we'd seen a commercial for Expendables 3, and I was trying to explain to her the plot behind it, not so much the plot behind it, but the idea behind it of, like, you know, it being all these great 80s, early 90s action stars all in one movie. It's the movie we wanted to see as kids. And I said, it's got all these great 80s, 90s action stars in it, and Kelsey Grammer for some reason. You know.
But Kelsey Grammer's even good at it. Because even when they're not blowing shit up, all they're doing is busting each other's balls.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. I have 4, since we're really approaching an hour and a half.
Real quick, just I got a little PS tag on my Expendables thing.
Okay.
Apparently The Rock didn't ask me anything. And people were asking him about if he was interested in doing Expendables and would he be in Expendables 4. And he's like, I'd love to do Expendables, but I don't want to be part of the team. He's like, I want to be the villain that goes after them one by one to try and kill all of them.
Nice. That'd be kind of cool.
I think he said something like, he's like, I want to kill everybody. He's like, I'll take them all out except for Ronda Rousey and Terry Crews. Me and Terry Crews will have a peck bouncing contest, and Ronda Rousey will be my sparring partner.
Nice. All right. Well, since we're approaching an hour and a half on our supersized episode here, I have 4 quick one-shots. First, one that surprised Chris and Gene and Mike and everybody. Manimal is apparently coming to the big screen.
What the fuck?
I did hear something about Manimal.
With Will Ferrell in the lead.
Never mind then.
You know, and the thing is, it's like that. I do enjoy.
Manimal.
I do enjoy Will Ferrell more when he is part of an ensemble,
Yes.
as opposed to him holding a movie. There's only one movie that he ever did that, like, kind of by himself that I really love, and that's Elf.
I'm going to describe to you the Manimal trailer. He will discover that he has the powers to turn into different animals. He will freak out about it. He will be naked somehow, and he will run down the street yelling.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
Will Ferrell does that in every Will Ferrell movie.
Very true. Number 2. This is more for the gamers out there that are very scared of game-to-movie adaptations. There was some footage shown from the long in production Warcraft movie that apparently is going to go into the whole origins of Azeroth and the world there. The footage apparently looks pretty fucking awesome.
Yawn.
But again, that's something else that has not leaked out of Comic-Con.
Yawn.
Shut up. And The Last of Us, which is excellent. Shut your fucking whore mouth. Which is one of the most critically acclaimed games on the PS3, zombie apocalypse type game. Is going to be a motion picture. It's not coming out for a couple of years, but who they're in talks to for playing Ellie makes me very excited for this movie, and will make any Game of Thrones fans very excited.
Peter Dinklage?
Huh? I didn't even hear what you said. Maisie Williams is rumored to be Ellie. She plays Arya Stark, which is one of my favorite characters on Game of Thrones. So I'm excited for that. I'm more skeptically excited.
I know we've talked about this before, and I'll bring it up again.
What?
Name me 2 good video games adapted into movies, and I'll spot you Resident Evil.
All right, wait. I could do
So
this.
you weren't thrilled with the Super Mario Brothers movie?
Listen, I like to think of that as an Elseworlds Mario tale.
I swear to God, I was watching. I turned the TV on the other day, and Land of the Dead was on, and it was John Leguizamo and Dennis Hopper, and I'm like, "Is this Mario Brothers?" And I'm like, "Oh no, wait, this is Land of the Dead." All right.
Well, Doom wasn't terrible.
I've seen almost every Rock movie, and I couldn't make it through Doom.
Listen, Doom was worth it for the first.
Gamer card revoked.
Shut up! I said it wasn't terrible. I didn't say it was good.
Okay.
And if you're going from sci-fi movie standards, Alone in the Dark with Tara Reid as a scientist, we'll say that was entertaining.
Speaking of,
Yes, I know. We're almost there. I got one more little bit, then we'll talk about that.
I got a couple things too before you're done.
Okay.
You know, the Double Dragon movie, Street Fighter.
Oh, don't even talk about
God.
Okay, I just thought of one that I'd even get. All right, go ahead, keep going. See if you can come up with one.
All right. All right. Let me think of one more. Not the Resident Evil movies we're talking.
The
Um,
first Mortal Kombat.
Resident Evil movie. Mortal Kombat is the only other
Yeah,
one.
Mortal Kombat.
The first Mortal Kombat.
one.
The
Second
first
one.
one, yes.
All right. The last little bit I have is Firefly. The entire cast is going to be reuniting for voice work in Firefly Online,
Nice.
which is you're going to have your own ship. It's going to be tactical combat. It's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be massively multiplayer.
But I heard once you really get into it, your subscription gets canceled.
That's why they're going free to play.
Even then, the game just once you get into it, the game ends.
Yeah.
Done.
So that was nice. All right, I'm out. What else you got?
We got a Walking Dead trailer for season 5. Not gonna go into it. Looks fucking awesome.
It does.
Very
If
intense.
you want to see it.
Yeah, look it up online. Very intense. Looks like shit gets started real quick. We also got the new Mad Max trailer coming out of Comic-Con.
That looks good too.
Fury Road looks really good. I wasn't even aware they
It
were
looks
making.
better than I could imagine it had any rights to looking.
It's the origin of Bane, so it's a good movie.
Absolutely. In September, we've got the long-awaited Family Guy Simpsons crossover, which a trailer came out for.
It looks fun.
Comic-Con. Looks fun. Simpsons is definitely lagging in the animation comedy department at this point. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around for 100 years. But that looks fun.
Only 25% of that.
Yeah. And lastly, we talked about this on the pre-show, and I can't believe none of you brought it up.
I know. I was just thinking about it.
We got the trailer for the movie that we didn't think was going to ever happen and be real. We got the trailer for Hot Tub Time Machine 2. And again, the Hot Tub Time Machine was a movie that should have never worked, should have never been good, and it's fantastic.
Yeah. John Cusack isn't in it because he does not do sequels.
Which is fine, because his story kind of ended.
Yeah, he had the happy ending. His story's done. So yeah,
They all kind of had a happy ending, but you know.
And they travel into the future
They
to
do,
prevent Lou's assassination
because Lou gets shot
in the dick.
in the dick.
Yeah, definitely. If you look for this trailer, look for the red band.
Look for the red band.
Only the
trailer.
Red Band trailer's out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Definitely looks fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Next year.
It's next year. Definitely, you know, if it's half as good as the first one, it'll be worth it.
Yeah,
You know, I almost feel like Hot Tub Time Machine, that they'll just keep making these things. I mean, until eventually they get bad, but it gets so bad that it becomes like a family film, like Police Academy.
Yes.
It's like, look, yeah, Hot Tub
Next
Time
thing you know,
Machine cartoon series.
yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a Hot Tub Time Machine cartoon series.
it could work on Adult Swim.
It could.
No, I'm not even talking about Adult Swim. I'm talking
It'll be
about
on like ABC.
80s style. Rated R movies eventually get to the point where they had a Saturday morning cartoon
Like
and a
Rambo.
That was another thing. This is again off topic. and I
Rambo,
know
Police Academy, Toxic Avenger.
we're running long, but this is another conversation my wife and I had like another day, like a day or two ago. She was watching Karate Kid on Netflix, or Karate Kid 3 on Netflix.
Terrible movie.
Terrible movie. Terrible, terrible movie. Fat 45-year-old Ralph Macchio playing a 17-year-old. That doesn't matter. But after the movie was over, it gives you the recommendations of like what you might want to watch next. And I hear her holler from the living room, "They made a Karate Kid cartoon?" And I said, "Yes, they make any popular 80s movie had a cartoon. Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Police Academy, Rambo,
Ghostbusters, Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
Oh my god, I forgot about
Had a
the Bill and Ted
cartoon. Yeah, so
Do
Teen Wolf had a cartoon.
Do you think that in Hot Tub Time Machine 2 there will be Bill and Ted references? Will Bill S. Preston, Esquire, and Ted Theodore Logan possibly show up?
I would I would go crazy if they did, but I don't think they will.
I doubt
Because
it.
that movie's supposed to. Oh, and that's the other thing. Speaking of 80s properties, supposedly it's on. Supposedly it's officially on. Ghostbusters 3 is officially on.
Stop it.
Yeah,
You know, I'm more excited for Gem than Ghostbusters 3.
absolutely.
I'm actually weirdly excited for Gem. I don't know why. It's gonna be a terrible.
You're going to be on a website list, aren't you?
I'm probably gonna be on those things.
Yeah, you're going to be on a list.
I'm gonna have to take my kids to see it so I don't look a weirdo in the theater. It's terrible.
You're gonna have to go and self-identify. Yep. You're gonna have to go door to door and self-identify.
Yeah, I know. Hi, I'm a Gem fan.
Hi, my name's Will. I'm a Gem fan.
Better than being a brony. Nah, just kidding. Brony's got their own movie now. All right, but our last thing we got to talk about, because by the time this show comes out on Tuesday.
Depending on when your ass gets it up.
Well, you know, it depends because Tuesday's a rough day for me. Yeah,
All
whatever.
right, whatever. You'll be listening to the show when it came out. But anyway.
I'll get it on Tuesday morning. Sharknado, it's Sharknado week.
It is Sharknado week.
So it's supposed to be coming on Wednesday, correct? On Sci-Fi?
Correct. Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. I think, provided that everybody is around. You know, Mike, if you're around, Gene, if you're around, you want to join us, I think we might do a live reaction show.
Yes.
Because I think that would be fun. That would just mainly be like anybody that wants to join us on Google Hangouts. Join us on Google Hangouts.
Yes, and we will watch Sharknado 2, the second one.
And
Which really should have been called Sharknado 2 Electric Boogaloo.
it should have been, but it wasn't. But also on Sci-Fi all week, it is Sharknado week.
Yes.
They've been playing all day, at least all day today. They've been playing shark movies. I watched Sand Sharks. I watched
Avalanche Sharks?
Brooke Hogan?
with Brooke Hogan. I watched Two-Headed Shark Attack, also with Brooke Hogan and Carmen Electra. I watched Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus with Jaleel White, who is
Jaleel White.
name.
Yes, Jaleel White. Urkel.
Jaleel White, Urkel. And then following that was Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus with Debbie Gibson.
Classic movie.
And the Renegade, Lorenzo Lamas.
Lorenzo Lamas. And then following that was Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark, also
Third
with
installment of the Mecha Shark.
Mega Shark. Also with Debbie Gibson.
About an hour into that.
Yeah, and so you know, it's definitely Sharknado week on Sci-Fi, which may have replaced my favorite week of the year, which is normally Shark Week. But you know,
If Sci-Fi keeps putting out a Sharknado movie every year for the rest of my life, I'll be happy.
And I don't know if you guys saw any of the clips. They were showing
there's no
a
way
ton
Sharknado.
of the Conan O'Brien clip from Sharktopus versus something.
Yes.
It was like a mosquito with an alligator face or something.
Mansquito. Mansquito. That's a real movie.
I know.
Don't even laugh. Mansquito is a real movie.
With Gunnar Hansen. No, I'm sorry. Gunnar Hansen wasn't in. He was in Mosquito, about giant mosquitoes attacking people, which is different than Mansquito. I'm sorry.
Mansquito is about giant mosquitoes.
Yes.
Yeah, so Sharknado 2 will be on July 30th at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Starring
We'll get some
everyone's
stuff up on a
favorite.
website, and we'll be live reactioning.
Yes.
Yes, starring
anybody
Vivica
that
A. Fox, Kelly Osbourne, Ian Ziering, Tara Reid, Mark McGrath, Andy Dick, Judd Hirsch, and Judah Freelander. So an all-star cast.
Kelly Ripa.
Matt Lauer's in it. Judd Hirsch is driving a taxi.
Yes.
Yes. All right. We really petered out there, huh?
We did. I'm looking at this list like I don't even know how all these people are in the same movie.
I was gonna go somewhere. And I don't remember what it was.
All right, so I think that's a good place to end it.
Yes.
All right, so Gene, go ahead, plug your stuff again.
All right, Gene Hendricks. I am at thehammerstrikes.com. Come see my blog posts, listen to my podcasts, and generally watch me rant and rave and make an ass of myself.
Well, it's just what we do here anyway. So hey,
Yes.
And
Fits right in.
You fit right in. At some point, Mike and I will be joining you on one of your podcasts.
Yes. Once I actually get off my ass and schedule it, we will be doing.
We have to get off our asses and schedule it as well. So.
And do a little background research, but we're not going to spoil
Schedule it while I'm on my ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to check.
And with us, you know where to find us. Whoa, I almost went way back. I went in the
Whoa.
way back again to my original blog. All right, let's do that over. Ninjaverse.wordpress.com, Facebook.com/Ninjaverse, YouTube.com/Ninjaverse, all the Twitters, all the everything, Tumblrs, as the Ninjaverse tumbles on
Do
Tumblr.
we tumble?
Yes, I have a Tumblr. I
Wow,
post on there frequently.
I didn't know we tumbled.
Yes, as the Ninjaverse tumbles. That's what it's called.
Dude. I got nothing.
All right, so I'm Will,
I'm Chris.
I'm Mike.
I'm Gene.
and we'll see you next week.